Hey guys, we're about to rock to Motorsport here with another video with RSF1 here at the Singapore Grand Prix in Q1. Almost said Q1 or wrong badly there. Don't know what I'm saying here. Anyway, 13 minutes on the clock. We're going for a spin. I'd say, well, that was a decent lap time till I spun just then. So that's not a great start by qualifying at all. Meanwhile, moving on to well, another lap, shall we say. And it's another ruined lap as I've hit the wall on the right-hand side. Oh no, but I am going to continue this lap just as a banker, and it's P3. Half a second down on stretch, and we've invalidated our next one. So we're going to come into the pit instead. Oh, there's a bump. I didn't know there was a bump there before, and I've crashed into the pit lane. Oh, I'm going to have to reverse in the pits. Don't disqualify me. I've got lucky there that it didn't disqualify me. P4 though, despite the fact I lost my front wing at the final corner. We'll take that, but sadly, Swift, Toxic, and DPS Racing are all knocked out of Q1. So, moving into Q2, and it's rained! Yes, that's exactly what I needed in this qualifying session. I hate Singapore, which you all know about, and, well, from previous videos. So this could be my first good Singapore Grand Prix if it's raining for the race. There's a spin there on the left-hand side. I don't know who it was. I think it was Blazer Guns, but I'm not 100% on it. Spooky's gone fastest with a 54, I think that was. I've done a 54.1, so not quite where I wanted to be at this point. Now, Purple second sector. We've clearly showing some sort of pace in the wet conditions, which is great to see at Singapore. Through the right, the next up is a right-left. This is tricky, very easy to validate through here over the curbs. Both sides there, very brave in the conditions here. I am up my time by 6 tenths, I think that is. Now up to 7 tenths through the final corner. Go for a very interesting line. Going to the line, it's pole position for now in Q2. But as you can see on my next lap, we are absolutely flying on this lap. Up my lap time by quite a bit actually. Going to left-hander, clip the curb nicely. Onto this straight now. We are on old tyres, by the way, as you can see, lap 4. 4 laps of tyre wear into the left-hander. We're turning too early. Yes, we have. We're into the wall. We are so lucky not to be out of this qualifying. And sadly, that was the end of my Q2, which has given ISBet a lot of confidence. But sadly, Matty, Quirty Turtle, Crazyfish, Millsy, Shane, and Blazergun all out. And one of them crashed out there. I think that's Matty because he was in P10. So we only got 9 people in this session for Q3. Now, in Q3 session, just a couple quarters to go on this banker lap time into the last 2 quarters. Spooky once again the first car out on track. I once again the second car on track, and once again can't beat it on my second lap. However, look on this lap. My second lap into it, we've got Purple Sector 1, Purple Sector 2. Can we get this pole position back for now? On Quakers, who's got it at the moment. So Quakers has done very well in this session to be up there or thereabouts. Last 2 quarters coming up through its 4th gear. Oh, turned in way too early. That's going to cost me a whole line through that. Somehow, though, we still get an official pole with a 52.4. Now, with 5 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock, can we improve on it? Oh, we've gone very deep into there. We've lost the rear. Into the left. How can we save it? Yes, we can. That is very impressive. The fact that I managed to save that into the last 2 quarters one more time there with 30 seconds left on the clock. We're going to see if we go for a full lap here then into Max Mitch and hot lap. It's turn 1 then, breakers lation there on the wet conditions. Turn and clip the curb on the inside and on the outside there. Before hitting into turn 3, clipping the curb once again. Try to get a nice exit, no wheel spin off the tyres. Second we've done. Spooky's gone pole for now with a 52.4. Is that going to be enough for Spooky to hold it? I'm not sure on that because we're on a great lap at the moment. 2.5 tenths up, almost 3 tenths up. We lost the rear slightly there, which cost me half a tenth. Now through the fast right-hander, lifts his left-hander. This is turn 5 now, I believe. Purple Sector 1. We've got the pace for pole position here. Qualifying is finished now. That is the end of it. Who is going to get pole position for the Singaporean Grand Prix? I'm not sure. We got Purple, and we are one of the last cars on track. So, everything is up for grabs here. We could have gone faster through that left-hander. I know that, but we are on fresh tyres, by the way. I pitted just last minute to pit for these fresh tyres because I was thinking, you know what? I'm not going to sit here on old rubber. We're going to box. We're going to go on fresh tyres. And it's exactly what giving us the advantage right now. Because everyone else will use their fresh sets. Half a second up, by the way, into the left-hander. Out the left-hander we go onto this back straight. Still pretty much on my delta. Exactly what you didn't see. It's Purple again. As Grunty is retired for the session. He's out now. There's just a few corners to go in my lap time and a few others. Now into the last sectors we go. Through the fast right, through into this left-hander. Got to clip the curb nice and neatly. Exactly how we've done it. Into second gear. Now, this is the tricky section. This left-hander, you've got to get it right. It's exactly how we've done it. We're still up on our lap time by 4 tenths. Now 5 tenths. I don't know who's going to get pole position in but I think we are likely to get it as we go through this left-hander. Just one corner to go now. It's the final corner. We can lose it or we can get it. Going for the same line I got for previous. Go for the inside tight line. Coming to the line. It's pole position for the Singapore Grand Prix. And no one could get close to my lap with a 51.7. Let's go. Now, formation lap. I thought I would include this in because I have no idea why, but here we go. Oh yeah, I know exactly why I included this in. The gap that Spooky has left, to me by the way, is humongous, which is why I left it in. And you can just see how much the tyres are going to go off because of the gap that he's got over me. Because I decided to absolutely pelt it, which was probably a mistake. We'll see how it goes with the start of this one. As we line up on the grids, we're going to come to a complete stop before they're even on the grids. That's why I included this in. Very frustrating stuff because, you know, now I'm going to have colder tyres than everyone on the grid when you should be within 10 car lengths of the car in front, etc. But we got to move on with it. We got to go with it. Go with the flow. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 red lights. It's a dry race. The Singapore Grand Prix starting on meters and away we go. But Rich Mix taken to viewer and overtake button being used. And we've got a great start compared to Spooky. So clearly the mind games of him starting, coming to the line a lot later has not worked in his progress at all. We've already gained a full second out of turn 1. Right, let's see if we can keep this momentum forwards then into the right-hander of turn 4. Out of turn 4 we go, using up some more overtake. We are absolutely on fire here with the 1.2 second gap on Spooky. We have absolutely gone. Now into this left-hander. We are on the mediums, by the way. I know that it's medium hard around here, so it's not going to be the easiest one to win if we are going to be up there at the front at the moment. On lap 1 still further back, we have got 1.6 second gap. This lap 1 has been absolutely perfect for me. For tipping into his left-hander, breakers late, you should dare clip the apex. So clearly, another thing by the way, which is why I've included this in, the wets to the dries, you're going to see which people can actually race coming through that. And being able to just set it off from the get-go. And I guess Spooky's just not one of those drivers who can do that straight off the bat. Right, on board with Crazy Fish for the start here. 10 red lights, and let's see how Crazy Fish's Grand Prix started. He gets a great reaction time. But it's not a great start. He got a lot of wheel spin though. On the right hand side, he's side by side with Shane and Nilsey. It's turn 1, he's on the curb, he's got to be careful. Shane gives him the space just about. It's turn 3, the left-hander. It's all getting a bit congested at the back, but everyone very safely and cleanly through. I've seen no front wing damage. It's turn 4. This is a corner that usually causes some dramas. I saw a lock up in front. DPS is actually AI at the moment, but Crazy Fish had a terrible start. He's down to P17. He's got Swift, who started the back of the qualifying van in P18. Last at the moment, he's still last. Oh my god, DPS's AI could cause a lot of problems in this Grand Prix. Turning into his right hand to turn 6. Everyone's just kind of keeping it clean though. Oh, DPS's AI is always taking out Shane. Now Shane goes round the outside. The AI gets the move done. Now Crazy Fish has got to try and get past the AI as well. He's just going to lose a lot of time behind it. Into the left-hander. No move this time for Crazy Fish, but he's got to be looking for it because otherwise he's going to lose a lot of time to Shane and all the guys in front to this point. Into this left-hander. Oh, dive bomb there by Swift. Swift goes for the move but doesn't quite get it off the bat there. Can Crazy Fish now get past the AI car? Yes, he can, but look at the gap already. He's lost a second now to Shane because of the AI there. The AI said something inside. There's contact between him and the AI. The AI's finally given up the position to Swift as well. The Crazy Fish losing a second there. Now, from the replay mode cameras, let's see who got the best start. Well, I think that was kind of obvious with myself. Because look at the gap I got on everyone, though. That is an absolutely amazing start. I'll take that pretty much. Already a second out of turn 3. So, that's really, really good. Now, coming to the end of lap 1 and into this right-hander. Into the left-hander. 2 seconds is my lead in this Grand Prix already. On lap 1. Now, that's going to be really tough for the guys to cut me down now. Because if I can get into a race rhythm, which is very fast enough, I don't think a lot of them can beat me. With the fastest up of the Grand Prix being set as well. Yellow flags through the last 2 corners on Bob Crazy Fish. Is there a spinner on the left hand side? Yes there is. Who is it? It's One Shot. One Shot has bottled it out that last corner. Oh, that's so unfortunate for One Shot. Clearly that's not gone well for him at all. Now through this left-hander, slight left-hander should we say, it's lower like a kick into turn 4. You got Nilsey in front of Crazy Fish. It's Crazy Fish gonna think about a move. Not quite that time round. We're coming to the end of lap 2 now. The gap's 2.5 seconds. We're taking out another half a second to Spooky. I don't know, Spooky just doesn't have the race pace compared to us in this Grand Prix, but he just is struggling so much. And I've got to feel that if Spooky wasn't in second holding up the back, maybe I'd have more of a race of a run between me and Quakers at this point. Now, Crazy Fish on the back of Mills. He's still at the end of lap 2. Into the left-hander. Side-by-side action up in front between Shane and someone. Shane just trying to look for the overtake, but on board with Crazy Fish. Through this right-hander. Music Rocket says fast up the Grand Prix. That is myself. I'll take that. No one else beats it as well. Which is showing our pace. There's contact there between Mr. Crazy Fish and Millsy there. And that has given Millsy a bit of damage, I think, on the right-hand side. He's hit the wall. He's now going to go on the start finish rate. Goes up the inside of Millsy without the DRS being enabled as well. Side-by-side into turn 1. Crazy Fish gets the advantage into P14 now. Well, it's a good recovery drive just for Crazy Fish. Next up for him is Quirky Turtle. Let's see if he can catch up to Quirky. He might have damage, you know. So moving on to lap 3, we set another fast lap of the Grand Prix. It's still 2.5 seconds, so Spooky has responded this lap to my pace. Now on lap 3, 2.4 seconds is the gap now. So but the catching me by 10th at the moment. Into the last 2 quarters we go. It's now got up to 2.7, so I guess this is going to be a close one compared to the end of this race. Meanwhile, Quirky Turtle and Crazy Fish once again going at it through this left-hander, going into the final couple of corners. I will say Crazy Fish on the medium should have a better advantage than Quirky's on hards. On the start finish straight, he's got the DRS, he's got the overtake, he's got the rich mix. Heading into turn 1, Quirky's got damage. Through turn 1, Crazy Fish is now to P13 then. 12 drivers to get to myself to win this Grand Prix for Crazy Fish. He's got a long way to go. Now, what's here to call that I didn't catch at the time? It's a set down. I clipped the wall there, lost the rear badly. How much time has that cost me? It's cost me 8 tenths. Somewhere between 5 and 8 tenths that. So that's definitely a cost mistake, and I don't want to make that too often. Coming to the line to complete lap 4 and going on to lap 5 now. Now on lap 5, we're on board with Crazy Fish. He's catching up to Toxic. Through this right-hander, Toxic's made a mistake here. Crazy Fish is going to have the overtake. He's going to have the DRS. He's going to have the rich mix if he's using it. I'm not really too sure at the moment. On this straight, with the overtake being used for so long, he gets alongside Toxic into the left-hander, and he gets past Toxic on the brakes. He's now into P12. Crazy Fish is making such great heroic performance at this point, despite starting at the back. Well, he wasn't really stuck at the back, but he's had a bad start to his race. One shot has retired from the session. He has given up with it, sadly to see. Now the yellow flags in this right-hander. What has happened here? Oh, Eagle's out of the race. Shade's had contact. I don't know what the hell's gone on there, but there's a lot of issues going on board with Eagle then. As he's got Grunty in front. Through this right-hander. Oh, Eagle's lost the rear. Eagle's into the wall, and he's got red wing damage. Now, what's happened to Shane? Oh, what? I think Shane's kind of got confused with Eagle reversing there. And sadly, that means Shane has hit Eagle, and that has retired Eagle from the session, which has brought out a safety car. Wow, okay. There you have it, Eagle being retired. And it's now the perfect time for me to pit on for the hards as well. If I can switch to the hards, shall we say. At the minute, my engineer is talking to me, so I can't actually just do it. And I've actually switched the wrong strategy. Because this is... Oh, no. I need to change my tyres. Come on, come on. Yes, hards. Yes, yes. Just about switching to the hards in time there. But that is effectively a free pit stop. But we are P7 now. Swift's at P5. He started on the mediums as well. So, literally, everyone in front of us has not pitted. Which is... although I say that, actually, I think one of them may have pitted. And we'll find out later on in this race who that is. Through this left-hander. When is he going to go? He's gone now. I don't know who your race leader is, but they've gone. Into the last 2 corners. We bottled down a little bit. I hate the last corner here, especially on a safety car restart on the hards. Right, so up the inside goes Swift. Swift just looking, I think, at this point. We've got to get past Toxic, and after Italy, getting past Toxic is going to be interesting to say the least. Out of turn 3 then, we get a good exit here on Toxic. It's just not going to be enough into turn 4. I don't want to risk it too early on. Now, at the end of turn 4, we use the up to overtake. We're in rich mix. We haven't really got the run on Toxic, but if I apply more overtake like I am doing, we might be able to go side by side with Toxic, who's moved over in the braking zone. Into turn 5, we get the move done on Toxic, who moved in the braking zone. Right, Toxic probably going to stand up inside here. He has some, I've already turned in, there's contact. Toxic's lost his wing. That's what you get for going for a move that never existed, and I've just turned in on my own racing line. Right, let's see from Toxic's POV. You might say I've on purposely turned on because it's Toxic, and that's exactly right. If there's anyone else, I probably would have given him space because I knew it was going to happen. Though Toxic, I was always just going to turn in. As you can see, at turn 5, get the position. Then it's his turn 6. This breaking point, and there just wasn't space. I'm afraid. I could have given space myself, but, you know, I'm not going to do that after what happened at Internet. Heading towards turn 5. Oh, Bubble Spooky then. As he's side by side with Grunty. Grunty gets past the mediums. Now into turn 6. The this right-hander, where Toxic's got sideways. Spooky might be able to take advantage. Oh, maybe not. Grunty's put him in the wall slightly there. Bit of racing, though. Alright, from the replay cameras, you can see us side by side hitting each other on the straight, just because Toxic wasn't leaving enough space. And then it's turn 6, I've just turned in, and sadly Toxic's race has just ended at that point pretty much. That's it, is what it is. You got to move on, you got to take the downs, you got to take the ups. As on board with Creative Fish, he's got Matty in front, he's got Swift behind. Swift is on absolute power here, heading towards the left-hander. Swift goes up the inside, gets the move done. Nice move there by Swift. Now on board with myself, now catching up with Crazy Fish, who was then, we've got to get past Matty. After Matty we got Swift, so we've got a lot of drivers to get past here. And I will say that team orders let Matty started to let Swift go, so there was team orders involved with the Ferraris, which, as you can see already, evidently was very helpful towards Swift's race at this point. Side by side with Crazy Fish though, along this straight, heading towards turn 5, up the inside. We get the move done, we got past Crazy Fish. Right, let's see what Crazy did on his one. He's on overtake, he's done exactly what he needs to do. He hasn't really got the slipstream off Matty. He's no longer using overtake either. We are side by side, and you'll also see that he has lifted up for the corner cage to give me the position. He obviously looks like we're faster than him on hards, whereas he's on old mediums trying to get them kind of far in this Grand Prix. I don't know, I feel like he could have put in for hards. Oh, when that safety car came out, like we did. But we'll see. Into this left-hander. He might be trying medium hard or something like that. On the back of Matty though. Still on lap 10, by the way, with 16 minutes since this video, and I'm already tired as it is. Up the inside of Matty, late overtake, didn't quite work off though. Now I've got the DRS, I've got the overtake, got the rich mix. We've got everything going for us, side by side, heading towards turn 5. So late on the brakes, he missed our braking point slightly there. Matty does a switch back into this right-hander. Matty holds on position, but surely we can try and fight this back. Now, Matty, what can you do here? It's his left-hander at turn 7. Still no move being able to get done. So still on the board of Matty at this point then. We're on lap 10 still. Into his left-hander. Matty's still got the advantage at this point. He's on hards as well, but he's on old hards. So we've got to get past Matty as soon as possible. Through the left, through the right. Before heading into the hairpin. Not quite any move being able to come on just yet. I don't know exactly where I'm going to be able to go. Should we go to the outside? We're using overtake quite late. Through to the right. Outside of the right. Side by side. Heading towards the left kick. We get Matty then into round the outside. We've had contact. Matty's missed his brake, but he's hit me. What an overtake I've just made, by the way. I didn't really want to spice it up that much, but that's a great overtake looking in the back. Now it's the right hander. We get past Matty. He's got damage. Look at the gap difference though, because he's got damage. Oh dear, that's not gone well at all for Matty anyway. So, one more position gained then into P4 with Matty further back with damage. He's probably going to come into pitch as he has, but look at the gap I've gained on them all. It's about a second, I'd say. Right, on board with Crazy Fish then as well. I'm just going to look through his overtakes and stuff. Right, side by side Matty there. We go for the move, but doesn't quite hold on. Now Matty's got, Fish, sorry, he's got a Stretch one at the back of him. Stretch being the championship leader, by the way, going into this Grand Prix. Up the inside of Crazy Fish into left-hander. Leaves the brakes off really late to get past. You see that I've gone for the switch. Well, Matty's gone for the switch back on me, sorry, because I missed my braking point slightly. And he regains that position. Now on board with Crazy Fish as well. Heading towards this right hand. You see me go to the outside here. Matty leaves me the space. We go round the outside, get the traction, we get the move done. But as you'll see as well here, is Matty missed his braking point, loses his front wing, gets damaged. And sadly has ruined his own Grand Prix because he was just pushing way too hard to try and re-overtake me. Which is a shame really, because me and Matty having such a great battle there, but it hasn't quite worked out for Matty. As Crazy Fish was at the back of Stretch, because Stretch didn't get past Crazy Fish without having any real option for Crazy Fish to get back at Stretch. Stretch, I wonder what strategies Stretch is going, because he's on the mediums. Then not going to get to the end of this Grand Prix. I've got hiccups, sadly. Now on board with the replay cameras, you see that I've got the straight line speed. I have got DRS, sorry, I didn't really use I had DRS. Up the inside of Matt, into his left-hander. Missed my braking point, no lock-up, but Matty saw it coming, did the switchback, did the right thing. and managed to hold a position. But it's short-lived, as you can see. Heading towards his right-hander. Go to the outside. He leaves me the space. So close to contact and going pear-shaped. We get to move done on Matt. And Matty sadly then loses front wing to the next corner, which Theatre sadly cuts away just before that happens. But I do feel bad for Matt about that one because of the driving and the battling we had. And he probably could have held up Stretch and Crazy Fish a bit more, and it gave me more of an advantage. So as we get awarded for track limits there, as moving on to lap 12 then. Almost, we're not even half race distance yet. We're not even close to it. What was I thinking? It's his right-hander. We've got Swift next up, 1.6 seconds ahead, 0.9 seconds back is Stretch. Stretch is going to have the DRS on me here as the 2 leaders pit then. Well, Ice Best and Swift are in the pits. That's distracted me. I missed my marker there. But sadly, I've just turned in too late. I got distracted. Stretch is going to have DRS. It's going to be up the inside of me towards turn 1. Stretch gets position done. Can we do a switchback? Not quite. Stretch has clearly got the better tyres on the mediums. Now, can we stick with Stretch in this Grand Prix? Should stay in this DRS or something, which is exactly my race plan for that. But you can see the gap that Stretch is already opening up here. It's going to be hard for me, even with the DRS, to stay with Stretch here, because it's already gained 0.6 seconds. As Crazy Fish gets past Ice Best, moves over team orders with the Red Bulls as well. Now, on board with Crazy Fish here to the last 2 corners. Next up for him is Matt, who's pitted medium, so he's not going to go to the end. And Matt pits then on lap 14. Probably going to go to the hards or another set of mediums. Could be one or the other for Matt in this Grand Prix. Hopefully he gets some decent points, but it's looking unlikely at this point. Down to 16 drivers now anyway. As now on board with Crazy Fish, we've got someone in the pits. It is Grunty. Grunty's pitted now in the racing point. That should give Crazy Fish the advantage over Grunty. Yes, it does. And he's down to P9. What a great recovery drive. This is turning out to be for Crazy Fish. P9 now. As Singapore, which you can't even overtake at anyway. Laser Guns is looking very quick at this Grand Prix now. On the oh, we got a virtual. Okay, well, Crazy Gun was all in the back of me. Now we've got a virtual safety car. I've got to watch out for my Delta. I don't want to get a drive-through penalty, which so many people can get through virtuals, because it's kind of annoying how virtuals work at the moment. It's a bit broken, I'd say. As here we go, the virtual safety car ending. Keep it in the green and you'll be fine. And that's exactly what we've done then. Now, next up is Stretch. He's gained 2.9 seconds on me, by the way, in the last few laps. So that's going to be a difficult one towards the end of this race to catch up with. As, by the way, Blazer Gun pitted, meaning I've now got a great gap to the cars behind, meaning I can just focus on Stretch in this Grand Prix, who has already pitted. Right, now on board with Crazy Fish towards this. Moving on to lap 18, got cars in the pits. That was Millsy actually that time. It's his left-hander into turn 1. Crazy Fish one more time. Now on board with Crazy Fish once again. Next up for him is Blazer Guns. Now it's his left-hander, the hairpin. Gets it done nicely. Oh, there's a spin there. Blazer's crashed on the exit at the hairpin. Easily done, but Blazer Guns, that's not what he wanted to do in the Singapore Grand Prix at all. Now for myself, through the fast right-handers. Well, last couple of corners, should we say. On lap 18 now. You can just see Stretch has got the 3.3 seconds. I don't know if that's enough, but Stretch is going to pit here, I think. Into the last 2 corners. If Stretch stays out, it could be a bad decision. He has stayed out. Stretch has stayed out for another lap.
Yellow flag.
Now, towards this one, then Crazy Fish now into P7 in this Grand Prix. He's getting positions everywhere. Now, next up for him is Mr. CSR Swift with 3.9 seconds to go. Shane has retired, but his AI car's gone back on the track. Oh, Crazy's got so close to hitting the back of the AI car. That's a shame, Crazy Fish. That's cost him a lot of time as well. It's cost him 3/10 almost, maybe more than that, 4/10. Oh, that's a shame for Crazy Fish, but clearly his race isn't going to go to plan too badly. Now moving on to lap 20 out of 31, just a few laps to go. Now Stretch pits. That is way too late to be pitting, I've got to think. But he also got 10 laps, which he could pit for softs. Softs might be able to get to the end. If he pits for softs, he might be able to get me here. But it depends what he pits onto, because he's now dropped behind Spooky, and he dropped behind Quakers as well. Now, and Swift, and he's dropped behind Crazy Fish. He's got a job to do in this Grand Prix if he wants to catch me. As the AI car has now gone out my way, finally, of DPS. We get past the AI car. We've got 11.3 seconds, 11.4 seconds to Spooky, who has in turn got a penalty for track limits. So, this race looks quite easy to win. As they're coming towards the end of the race, we crossed the finish line in style, hitting the wall there. And, which wasn't actually intended, I will say that much. But we win the race from Stretch, who gets P2 in this one. And he did have a penalty himself, so I'm a bit surprised by the fact how well Stretch has done in this one. But, yeah, Stretch code P2. He is your championship leader, and probably still will be. We'll have a look at that in a minute, though. Race pace, though. One shot. He struggled there early on. Then it was Eagle, and then Matty, who had a very strange race into this one. Look at the consistency, though, that I've got on the hards here. And the mediums were alright, but the mediums weren't great consistency. But the hards, that's your race pace. That's what you need into every race, pretty much. Consistency is that. If not more consistent, if you can be. As got my personal best there. It's sector 1 in the last couple of laps on those hards. So clearly I was pushing for Stretch. He was putting a lot of pressure on those mediums he pit onto. If he pit off for softs, I think Stretch could have won this Grand Prix. He did get penalty, by the way, in the last couple of corners as well. So, all to play for, heading towards Russia as well. But there you have it then. Stretch extends his championship lead. Now, well, no, he doesn't lose it. It's from 20 points, 13 points, to the end of Singapore. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day, and goodbye.